Okay, that was Carina on line 3 is here to, maybe she'll straighten us out. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
What can we do for you?
So I just wanted to, you guys talked about believer as being not very secure in general.
Well, that's some people.
Yeah, some people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not, I don't know if I could consider myself a religious or not,
Mm-hmm.
but, excuse my English, I'm not from the country. My background is Muslim.
Oh, right. Well, your English is at least as good as mine. I can't talk half mornings, so.
And so I never believed in Islam or any religion at all.
Mm-hmm.
I read the Bible, and I talked to Jewish people, and for me it's all the same. It's all a big book, and it's all little differences in the story.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I am a believer because I need to believe in something. And sometime in my life, it's really rough, and nobody can do anything for me except for some entity that maybe help me morally.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. You can't say that believers are insecure. Maybe they are insecure. Maybe I am insecure. That's why I need something.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I'm not.
I wouldn't go that far.
Not gonna. That is, of course, much of the appeal of religion. Okay, is this idea that when life gets really hard, and when you're down in the dumps, that God loves you, and everything will be okay because all you have to do is trust in Him, etc., etc. There is the emotional appeal to all those times in your life when you're down. But the thing is, everyone gets down. Everybody has bad days, bad patches in their. Some people have bad years, so everybody goes through ups and downs in their emotional state.
Right.
And I'd say, is it really the entity that brings you out of it, or is it just the belief in the entity? And if it's just the belief in the entity, then it seems to me that could be anything, right? That could be.
Exactly.
That could be. It could be your love for your family. It could be just having a dog to hug. It could just be the belief in, it's not really so much, when believers say, oh, well, I went through this horrible depression when, my relationship broke up, et cetera, but, the love of God saw me through it. Well, what they're talking is it's not a God that did anything. It's just they had this thing that they were able to tap into.
Yeah.
That, and so now, can you see, so a lot of people say, well, you mean old atheists, you want to take that away from people and deny them that experience and da-da-da-da. It's not that. It's just that the point is that, you can get through things. Atheists go through bad patches too, and again, we just...
Yeah, I just want to know, how do you go through those without... I mean, I don't think love for your dog or for your family will really is a very good support, at least not for me.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I have a supportive family. Not everyone does. Not everybody can rely on that. What happens when what I realized, because I went through a period after my marriage broke up that I was feeling bad, I had to realize that this is a period of time that I'm going through. It will not last forever. What I need to do to get out of it is get out of it. I need to make the choice that I don't want to be unhappy anymore, because being unhappy is no fun, and I need to concentrate on the things that do make me happy. My work, my career, my friends. If I'm not in a position in my life that I want to be in professionally, I realize that I can pray and pray and pray saying, God, please, help me get a raise or help me move up the ladder, what have you. Or I can just get out there and crack my knuckles and work to be where I need to be.
Yeah, I do that too. But in the initial phase, when you are really down, you need something to hang on to.
Well, see, again,
it could be a chimpanzee, a bird. I don't know what the God is. I really don't.
Yeah.
And I don't care. And I think for me, God is here for me. I'm not here for Him, because I can't do anything for Him. He's here for me when I need Him. I'm not going to go and do anything for Him. It's a purely selfish thing. Yeah. And that it's my God. I believe that I am a believer in something.
Yeah. And it is hard, like say, when something initially bad happens and you're hit with that immediately, it is hard to get over that.
Exactly.
But like say, what we try and do basically, or at least what I try and do, is come to the realization that as all the self-help people and everything put it, essentially, that you have control over your feelings. The only way that you're going to feel bad is if you let something do it. you have the choice to say, no, you know, I've got better things to do with my time than to sit around and mope all day. And so I'm going to find something, some more constructive way to do things with my time.
You can say, I can take this bad experience, learn a lesson from it, and say, I'll make sure that doesn't happen again.
It's not easy. It's not easy. But it's a much better way to do things.
What we dislike, what tends to bother most atheists, right, is the message that religion feeds you. Okay, that human beings cannot.
Yes.
It is impossible for a human being to simply rely upon their own inner strength, which to get through bad patches. It's like you can't do anything. You know, people cannot, you know, make it through the day without prayer, without God, without, you know, the guiding light from above. It's impossible. It's all hopeless. You have to give everything over to God, because if you don't, your life is just going to be in the dumps all the time. This is the religion. This is the hook that religion hits you with, and to make you essentially emotionally dependent. That to me is the danger, okay? And it's really not terribly far removed. You know, the way mainstream religion does it is not terribly far removed from the way the more fringe cults do it, where they say, oh, you're miserable, your life is horrible, it's awful, there's no hope for you, but come join us and be part of the family, and all will be better. If you don't, you know, they take people who are vulnerable, emotionally vulnerable, and that's when they get you.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, and so it's one thing to say, well, a person may, you know, like you as an individual, well, you know, the way you get through a crisis is to say, well, I'll have an inner faith in a higher power that sustains me. It's one thing for that to be like an individual's choice, although I would argue that an individual doesn't really have to go about it that way. There's other more practical ways to do it.
Well,
but I can't tell people how to live their lives.
Yeah.
But there's that, and then there is the way organized religion goes out there and actively, like, preys on the vulnerable. You know, when you have people like Franklin Graham with his Samaritan's Purse organization, where they go to places that have been hit with monsoons, and so you have, you know, in third world countries where you have all of these people who are, you know, who have no food, no money, no clothing, no shelter, you know, health problems, and they go and they, you know, provide stuff, and then they're vulnerable, and they're like, well, now we can share the love of Jesus with you. You know, it's preying on the vulnerable. That's where religion, I think, becomes a pretty dangerous thing.
That's right. Yeah,
So.
I agree. But it has also, religious people did the good things. I mean,
religious people do good things. There are a lot of religious
exactly.
charities that are wonderfully altruistic, and they really do feel like the Lord has called us to save starving kids, what have you. But I think that they're, you know, again,
they ask something else.
yeah, there is that element. You know, the homeless shelters that you hear about, where they're the big debate in the whole faith-based initiative controversy, where, you know, the problem, you have these homeless shelters that guys go to get soup, but before they give them the food that they need because they're hungry, and before they let them take a shower,
sermon.
yeah, you got to sit through a 2-hour sermon,
Yeah.
which, you know, just ain't right. You know, that's,
it's
again,
not
that's,
right, yeah,
you know, we've got a captive audience, we're going to hook you. That's, so you're going to find us, you know, criticizing that quite a lot. But,
Okay. But I think in some case, for me, I need it, and other people will need like a bottle of whiskey to go through their pain. Or
well, you've definitely,
Well, you found the better of the two.
of those two options, what you've got is the better one. Is certainly, but you know, I mean, we're not here to say, you know, look, we understand that individual people have their ways of dealing with things.
Yeah.
You know, and if you know, and if you know, we're not here to say, oh, well, it's wrong for you to feel in the heart the way you feel in your heart about this, that, or the other. If you want to present it to us as an argument or this, that, or the other, then we'll happily debate it to you. But no, we understand where you're coming from in terms of saying that a lot of people do feel this need to rely on.
Because otherwise there wouldn't be all these religious people. Not all people are stupid or anything, but it's just a need that's created.
There's an emotional appeal to religion that is next to impossible for most people to resist.
Yeah.
You know.
What I just think bad about religion is, I think religion was the cause of wars for centuries and centuries. That's the bad thing about it, because they use it to push people.
Those
to,
darn crusades, right? I mean, the Christians going after the Muslims. And
and
now,
Muslims, I don't care what it is, but
and now that's what, I mean, I don't know. I think that, you know, Osama bin Laden is exactly enough of an Islamic fanatic
exactly.
that he really thinks that, you know, that his terrorist organization is getting payback for what the Catholic Church did, you know, 1,000 years ago with the Crusades.
Or maybe he doesn't think it. He just used that to move those people and to use them.
Well, he could do that, but I think that, you know, he probably really is that fanatical. I mean, it takes a fanatic to do what he's doing.
I don't know him personally.
Yeah, I think it takes a fanatic to do the things he's doing, you know.
Okay.
And it's sort of like, let me, you know, watch while I tell these guys, and they'll go off and blow up a building. See, got them. Yeah. No, I don't think he, he probably, I'm sure he really does believe.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
As strongly as he does in his hyper-fundamentalist, Islamic things. But okay, well,
Anyhow,
thanks a lot for your call.
Thank you for your show.
Sure.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
When will I learn? The answer to life's problems aren't at the bottom of a bottle. They're on TV.
How true. But again, we happen to realize that, again, a lot of people do, need to have a belief or something like that to make it through hard times. We also, since we don't believe in any gods, we don't think they actually got any strength or any help from any outside force. They did it themselves. They diverted that force in a slightly off-kilter way that we wouldn't do it, but they still have the energy to get through everything that they have gotten through in their life.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think it is, Ashley?
So.
I think it's, and Don Baker will probably, this would be a good thing I'd like to get his opinion on this, when he talks about memes, right? And Christianity is a meme. It's that the meme is sort of woven into our culture, right?
Yeah.
And so people, when you say that, religious people who say, well, God help me get through this crisis, they did it themselves, yeah. But they're giving credit to God because they've absorbed the meme, the cultural meme that, Christianity has, people need to rely on the higher power, their God, their heavenly Father, Harvey the Invisible Rabbit, whatever. It's you cannot, inner strength or just, or a person's just willingness to get out there and work and kick some ass and get out of their rut.
Yeah.
That's never enough.
Exactly.
I've read Christian writings and websites and their books and apologetics, and all of them harp on this theme, which is that human effort, is just inadequate at all times.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah, I mean, human effort is inadequate in all things. When it comes right down to it, people just can't really achieve anything.
Yeah.
Anything positive in life.
Yeah.
Without God doing it.
Yeah.
And it's this hammering of, and it's all about breaking down the self-esteem of the believer to make them more dependent emotionally and psychologically on the religion for their sense of well-being. And so when and so it's all, well, oh, I can't, we have to.
Thank God I got through that, messy breakup or whatever.
Yeah.
You did it. Take a little credit.
Yeah, I mean, even if they did it by praying, it was like them,
it's
engaging in this.
Their own horsepower got them through it.
Yeah.
So be glad.
So what I say is, when to believers who use that, just like give yourself credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with giving yourself credit for things you do that are good for yourself.